If white people move out of communities of color, it's white flight. If we move into communities of color, it's gentrification. So what are we supposed to do? When it comes to both of those topics, it's not just white people entering a neighborhood or leaving a neighborhood that matters. It's how we buy and sell property and how that affects the value of the surrounding properties. There is a value that homes should be. The average cost in Missouri to build a home is between $80 and $120 per square foot, so about $100 a square foot. When the value of homes in a neighborhood get too far above that amount or too far below that amount, it becomes problematic. When the value of homes drops below $80 a square foot, no new property is built. All that can happen is that it will deteriorate. Whatever buildings are there are all you're going to get. When the value of homes starts to be $150 to $200 per square foot, then developers want to come in and build houses they don't intend to live in. Build houses with the sole purpose of making money, and that really drives prices up. This is where we have white flight causing devaluation and blight, and gentrification, which is people buying houses so far above their building cost that it becomes problematic for the people that already live there. I bought a house in a neighborhood that is predominantly black. This is the demographics of my neighborhood. And I don't know what me buying that house did to the value of the homes in the neighborhood. I bought my house 7 years ago for $47.50 per square foot, which is pretty close to half of what it would cost to build a home the same size. So why was it so cheap? Well, there was white flight in my neighborhood in the 60s and 70s. And as more and more people left, there was one land prospector that bought up properties. He bought up thousands of properties. He left these buildings abandoned and intentionally let them get run down so that the whole neighborhood looks terrible. That land prospector drove the housing prices into the ground because if he can own a large enough area, he can get the city to eminent domain it and pay him for those properties. This happened in one of my nearby neighborhoods where that one land prospector owned most of the properties in this area, and the city eminent domained it. They paid him for those properties, and they tore down all of the houses, forced everybody else out. People drive through North St. Louis and they see these rundown buildings, and I always hear people say, well, why can't black people take care of their neighborhoods? But what they don't know is that most of those properties all belong to the same white guy. And now that NGA is going to open, all of the properties around me have been purchased by land prospectors who have no intention of living here. If the house values ever get to where you can build affordable housing, there won't be anything to build on.